My name is Nick DeBeal. I'm here on behalf of Multidimensional Manufacturing to bring you the Metalloid. So the current problem today with 3D printers is they're slow and they produce toys. The part cost when it's completed is roughly equivalent to the material cost of the input going in, and the material choices are very limited and they're poor. You don't see these materials in automotive parts or marine parts or aerospace parts. The last part, the main problem, is they're not configurable. So they're all closed source, meaning that if you need to do a unique geometry or a unique part with a unique material and you want to make it work for your machine, you can't because it's all closed. So the solution to this is a trio of nozzles that we can go 8 times faster. But if you go with just a bigger nozzle, you lose definition and resolution. So we counteract that by using 2 smaller nozzles in conjunction. The smaller nozzles do the outside perimeters of the part that you can see, and the support material for overhangs and all sorts of other unique geometries. We do the insides of the part, the infill, with a much bigger nozzle. And just like when you're trying to drink a triple thick shake from McDonald's, if you try to drink it with a coffee stirrer, it doesn't work so well. If you put a Slurpee straw in it, you can move a lot more material. And so that's the key thing, getting the flow rate up. The next step is increasing the temperature capability. Most printers today, or almost all of them, use something called a thermistor. They tap out at about 300 degrees C, which is why the materials that are available now are the ones being used. Materials like glass fiber reinforced nylon and polycarbonate require a much higher temperature, so I use thermocouples to measure that. I can melt just about solder and aluminum. And because of this, I can use just about any rigid thermoplastic known to man. Everything, including all of your aerospace parts, marine parts, everything that you would see in injection molds, power tools, I get to utilize that material. And then because of my open source software platform, it's already a very familiar item in the community. I'm just producing the unique hardware. The users themselves get to customize and play and tweak to get what they want, which is much different than the traditional Stratasys 3DS way of doing things. So in retrospect, I'm 12 times cheaper than the cheapest Stratasys printer, and I'm a little bit above the cost of the typical MakerBot, which everyone is familiar with. Stratasys only offers 4 materials for their high-end Fortis line, and MakerBot only has the 3 basic materials. And the build price per build volume, so the cost you're paying per cubic volume, I'm 10 times cheaper than Stratasys and 9 times cheaper than the equivalent MakerBot. So my business model, I build the machines and sell them directly to customers. Right now, for 100 units, it's the 3 amigos, me, myself, and I putting these things together. My sell price is $3,300, and my BOM cost is roughly $1,200, with an additional $500 for assembly and calibration and verification, and $300 for shipping. The other is amortized for future equipment and tooling and warehouse space and rental and utilities, and that's what I've called per printer, and that leaves me with $800 of profit on each machine. That is equivalent to a 24% profit margin, which I thought was pretty good. Some traction. So I participated in the Michigan Tech I-Corps program. During that time, I made 42 valuable interviews, and I contacted inventors, maker spaces, and print farm owners, people who have hundreds of cheap printers or a couple dozen expensive ones. And these are the people who all of the other companies out there outsource their additive manufacturing needs to, and they have been very interested in what I have to offer, mainly just the speed increase, because you're not tying up a $40,000 to a $250,000 machine for weeks at a time. I also have 5 pre-orders available, so when I finalize the designs and get the cabling done, I can claim those instantly, and those will be used to help with the Kickstarter feedback, or to preview. So my target market is roughly so according to Forbes in 2014, there's 100,000 desktop 3D printer units sold. Of those, 25,000 were above my price point. Of that, I know that there's 1,000 people out there who are willing to buy my units. I can sell 1,000 units the first year if I can make manufacturing capability there. This graph, it shows how my price per volume and my build volume, the actual how big I can go and how much it costs you to go that big, compares to everyone else. And so I'm down here on the lower right, and everyone else is either much smaller or much more expensive. My growth path, a lot of the stigma attached to 3D printing was initially because it was oversold and underdelivered. So I plan on doing the opposite. I will educate and inform the users ahead of time using my website. They will be able to ask and answer their own questions, and the community that develops for these people who use my machine, similar to Practical Machinist forums, will help basically sell my own product. They'll brag and do whatever. My open source software allows the users to get exactly what they want. They don't have to wait for software updates, but the hardware is good. So the hardware is capable for all sorts of stuff. Then I can launch my Kickstarter page, similar printer designs that don't have anywhere near the capabilities that mine have, like Tico and the Buccaneer have raised millions in a month. And they came with a concept. I have a completely functioning prototype. I just need to work some of the manufacturing bugs out. And then my final path is partnering with CNC Cookbook. This is a website that's solely based around subtractive manufacturing, but the people there understand how additive works, and they're the people I need to tap into. They get 50,000 users on a month. So my financials, there's a lot going on there. Basically, I advise you just to look over at the booklet, but the big one is really look at year 4. If I can sell 5,000 printers, I'm making just a little over $7 million, which I thought was phenomenal from where I started with this. Myself, my name's Nick DeBeal. I have a bachelor's of mechanical engineering from Michigan Tech. I've got 4 years of experience in working on this, making all the little side details to getting all the nozzles to work accordingly with the offsets to make this work. This is not an idea or a concept, it's a functioning product. And ask me anything, I can answer it. And then my other partner is the lady who put all these slides together, because I'm just the engineer. What I need from you guys, I need a team. I've got to the point where the 3 Omegos aren't enough. I need a dedicated double E, because although I figured it out on my own, I'm not fast with it. I need to be agile with this and get the designs I need out the door now. Right now I buy everything, and I'm limited greatly on what I can pursue with that. If I can bring those capabilities in-house, I can do a whole lot more to keep toes up on my competitors like Stratasys and 3DS. Right now I compare them to Kodak and Xerox. They've sat upon their patent laurels, they're just starting to expire, and they're primed for disruption. The remaining thing I need is a nice Kickstarter video, because if I don't have that, the Kickstarter program doesn't work at all. It's all about the video, and I've got everything else I need other than the video, but I don't know anything about that, hence your help. And then basically all of the seed money from this basically determines what my workspace is. If I get nothing, I get a garage workspace. If I get something, I can have a storage unit that I can put card tables and Allen wrenches and everything I need in there. And if I go big, then I can actually get a warehouse and a manufacturing facility. In summary, I'm 8 times faster than everybody else out there. I'm 10 times less expensive, 10 times increase in build volume, 12 times less expensive. I'm the first guy doing this, and I got a 24% profit margin. Please ask me questions after this if you want more info. Thank you.
All right, thank you.